Hello, everybody, and welcome to another training. Today, we're going to talk about conference calls, how to speak with confidence, and some tips about some ways that you can express what you want to say during a conference call, how to be polite in the way you say things, and much more. So, let's begin. All right, so the first 5 minutes in a conference call is where people usually introduce themselves. If you organized or if you called a meeting or the conference, you are going to be the one who is going to set the rules and the stage, and you're going to give the introductory comments to the topic that is up for discussion that day. So if you're the person who organized the meeting and you're the host, you're gonna want to say something first before you the moment you join the meeting. You're gonna say something like, hello everyone, thank you for joining, thank you for attending. If it's necessary, you can introduce yourself, and you can say something like, I hope you're having a fine morning, I hope you're having a good day, thank you for your punctuality, thank you for being here this morning. You also want to make sure that people are there, so you can ask them, is everyone here? Somebody's missing? And after you make sure who's there, who's missing, you can start by setting the stage, which is basically telling people the reason why you're there, giving them like a little background. So you can tell them, as you may know, we call this meeting to talk about this, or you might be aware that, explain a little bit of why you are there that morning. And when setting the rules, you can tell people, please remember to ask questions at the end, and please remember to mute your mics when you're not speaking, and raise your hand if you have any questions. That is going to depend entirely on the dynamic of the conference call that you're gonna have. You can also say everyone will have their turn to speak. First is Amanda, then is John, after that it's Lindsay. So you are the host, so you have to control who speaks first, who's at the end, so everybody knows exactly when they're up. And then you can have a round of introductions if it applies. So if you are the host, you're gonna tell them something like, I would like to have a quick round of introductions before we start. So who wants to begin? Or let's begin with, and you say the name of the person. And if you're on the other side of the table, you are the person who is attending the session, who was invited to join in. You can say something like, hi, this is Manuel Gonzalez, or Manuel Gonzalez here. You might also want to talk about what department you're in and also where. So you can say something like, this is Manuel Gonzalez from the marketing department in Bogota. And you close with something nice, a nice polite phrase like, happy to be here today, happy to hear you all, happy to join in. And that's it. A common problem that you might have to face or deal with is technical difficulties. There are different things that could happen. Maybe one of them is that for some reason, you can't hear the person very well. There's poor connection. So if the person's voice sounds like this, and you can't hear it, okay. So if that is the case, you might want to tell the person, hey, you're breaking up, or you're cutting out. I can't hear you very well. Mike, we're losing you. And you request them to repeat what they were trying to say. So you tell them, could you say that again? Or maybe it's really noisy, like something in the background, like maybe a dog barking, or an ambulance, or a person on the street selling fruit. So you might want to tell the person, hey, Regina, please mute your mic. There's a lot of noise coming from your side. Or maybe you can hear the person, but there's an echo. So you can tell that person, hey, there's an echo. Please mute your mic. Or you can instruct them to please disconnect from one of his devices. Or maybe there's a problem with the screen, so you can tell the person, hey, your screen froze. Or if he's sharing, hey, we can't see your screen. And when it's your turn to participate and the person who is the organizer of the meeting calls your name, you can say something like, "Hello, everyone. Thank you." You mention the name of the person who gave you the word. So you say, "Thank you, Mark." And something like, "I have some things to say. I want to talk about I want to explain to all of you a bit of. I have some suggestions." If you disagree with something or have an objection to make, try not to interrupt whoever's currently speaking. Instead, you can wait for your next speaking turn. However, there's always the chance that you might not hear or understand what someone else has said. Here are some useful phrases to stop the conversation and get clarification. If you couldn't hear what the person said for many different reasons, maybe connection is poor, or maybe the person was speaking too fast, you can say something like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't get that," or "I didn't catch that. Could you please repeat what you just said?" Or "Could you say that again, please?" Or maybe you just can't hear the person, so you can tell him or her, "Could you speak more slowly, please?" Or "Could you speak up, please? I can't hear you." Please avoid phrases like, "Can you repeat me?" It's a grammar mistake. Or "I don't understand." Try to avoid saying "I don't understand." It can be seen as rude. On the other hand, if there's a specific word that you don't understand or recognize, it's okay. You can ask them, you can say something like, "What do you mean by," and the word. If it's an acronym that you don't understand, you can say something like, "What does MBT stand for?" And if you just want to ask a question or say something, you can interrupt with a phrase like, "Sorry, would you mind if I asked a question? Could I interrupt you for a second? Or could I stop you there for a minute?" And you ask or you say what you wanted to add to the conversation. So we've come to the end of this training. Just a reminder, don't panic. Prepare your input. Check your phone, internet connection. Keep the important words or phrases in your mind, and when it's your turn, take it slow. Even if something goes wrong, just apologize and continue. Take the opportunity as a challenge. Believe in yourself and you'll be absolutely fine. Let's be more active in conference calls, and until next time, everyone.